You know, looking back at Starro when it first came out, Hoyoverse was putting a surprising amount of stock into Serval as a character and a unit. To this day, she's one of only 2 4-star characters to get a full-on trailer. For reference, the other 4-star is March 7th. I miss March, guys. And like, just from a surface level look at her, I can see why she was the 4-star who was hyped up. Her punk rock aesthetic and how it plays into her animations are sick, plus she's got a good design. High school me would have definitely had a fictional crush on Serval. I say this as if I don't think she's hot now. Why does Hoyoverse always go so hard making their electric women? Alright, enough preamble, let's get into the analysis. Don't worry, Yuri fans, we will get to the toxic exes, just let me lay some important groundwork first. Serval is the eldest daughter of the noble Landau family, being the fun-loving and rebellious type of sibling. So rebellious, in fact, that she was disowned by her family. Even when left on her own expenses, she seems to be pretty well off. After all, it's a prominent topic involving her mechanical workshop, Neverwinter, that it doesn't make much profit. Serval often brushes off such questions, stating, "This is just a hobby, dear. I'm not short on money." Serval is also the lead vocalist of a rock band called Mechanical Fever. She will temporarily close her shop so her band can perform right outside. This band was formed between her and a few of her classmates, including the Silvermane Guard Dunn during their days in cadet school. Lynx and Pela are the only members who are still with Serval now, but the band is still going pretty strong. Serval is extremely passionate about music, allegedly spending most of her time in her workshop repairing and improving instruments. She's always had this passion for music, but her noble lifestyle growing up meant she couldn't pursue it to any capacity. Her third story outright states her love for music was rekindled once she left her family behind. Serval has a very strained relationship with her family, mainly her parents, and it's not her fault at all. In the first mission of her and Gepard's companion mission, Time Express, Serval states that she writes to her mother, but not her dad, saying she still doesn't get along with him. Based on Lycode and Landau's choice, particularly the broken vase seen in the illustration, their father was very likely physically abusive, and he was very uptight about their noble status, getting mad at Gepard for interacting with and hearing stories from commoners. Serval would defend her brother when their dad got upset with him, but couldn't muster a rebuttal. Instead, she'd go to bed angry and make a vow to herself. I will be a grown-up one day, and when that day comes, I'll make choices. My own choices. Serval's defiance of her noble lineage to stubbornly express her own passion actually ties into her namesake. The feline species she's named after can be found in Africa, and it spiritually represents independence, to follow your own heart instead of following the crowd. You don't get much more punk rock than that. She claims rock and roll is her main occupation, not being a mechanic, but even then, she probably isn't making a ton of money from her impromptu concerts. Her band undeniably has fans, canonically having a pretty big teenage audience, but the only money she's making from those are likely small donations like the ones musicians get thrown into their guitar cases. So again, with her kicked out of her family and her shop not making much if any money, where's all her cash coming from? My guess is she has a boatload of money saved up from her years of being a scientist. You heard me. Players come to learn that Serval was once a very talented researcher in the Architects Technology Department. She started working there not long after graduating from cadet school with a PhD in geomero energy engineering. Before she was fired, you just know she was making her bag and saved up enough to enjoy retirement as soon as her 30s. Need me a woman like that. On the topic, I should talk about why she got fired. During her time in the scientific research division, she led a project on the Stellaron. When she asked for permission to have soldiers accompany her to find the Stellaron, Cocolia not only forbade it, but sequestered the lab and detained all the researchers, stating their work was illegal. The Supreme Guardian did this under the influence of the Stellaron. Since then, Serval and Cocolia never spoke to each other. Look, I've had falling out with friends before, and I know media exaggerates things for the sake of entertainment and emphasis, but like, this...
All that time we spent together! Was any of it real? It was so easy for you to just leave this world behind. Don't you at least owe me an explanation? Look at me, Cocolia. Don't you dare look away. Because I will no longer live in your shadow!
Nah, there was way more going on between these two than just friendship. Hell, during the quest Time Express, Serval explains why her guitar case was in Cocolia's office. They spent so much time together and lived in the same dorm, they basically shared everything. So Cocolia ended up keeping a lot of Serval's stuff when she fired her from the Architects. Heck, the guitar she has now was one Cocolia made for her as a birthday present. Hoyoverse did everything except explicitly state they were girlfriends. Historians may call them roommates, but I've seen the light, goddamn. Wow, it really worked out that this is the first video I upload during Pride Month. So, anyway, after a falling out that was basically a breakup, years went by and the events of the Trailblaze quest happened. And even though there was bad blood between them, Serval couldn't help but feel lost after Cocolia's death. Near the start of the companion mission, she considers going on the Astral Express and becoming a Nameless. However, Gepard points out that her decision is one purely made out of wanting to run away from her past with Cocolia. I've seen people online give Gepard shit for his inclusion in this quest. When I happen to disagree, I honestly think he was justified to point out his sister's hasteful behavior. Heck, Gepard's contribution to the quest was him wanting to ensure that if and when Serval left Jarilo-6, she'd do so without leaving any regrets behind. But I'll touch on this more when I get to his video. Also, I understand people were disappointed that Serval didn't join and become a major character, but like, in retrospect, I'm glad they didn't add a new member that soon into the game's overall storyline. By that point, only the main trio had gotten any substantial screen time. I think it was the right call to wait until 2.7, nearly 2 years after the game's launch, before adding a new member to the crew. Besides, Gepard was kinda right. Serval didn't think things over much at all with a decision as big as joining the Astral Express. She mainly wanted to leave so she could run away from her complicated feelings concerning Cocolia. But with help from her brother and the Trailblazer, she's given the opportunity to vent out all those frustrations. This naturally results in her changing her mind and deciding to stay in belobog and use her talents to make it a better place.
I've always found it hard to handle complex relationships. Be it Cocolia or my family. The first thought I have when things don't work out is to run away. Starting from today, that's no longer the case. After all, I'm not doing this on my own, right?
Right.
Serval's character and story serve to teach two lessons. One is to follow your passions, regardless of the obstacles in your path. If you feel so strongly about an interest or hobby, pursue it to your heart's content. The other lesson, one told from her companion mission, is to not run away from your problems or your past. If you don't properly confront them, they'll only cause you greater pain and regret in the future. I think the story of Make the World Clamor Light Cone puts this second lesson best. Voice your thoughts so others can come to help. Don't make your heart as cold as this concrete jungle. Make the world clamor. Thank you for watching this video. This is one part of a series of analysis videos on Honkai Star Rail's cast of characters. If you want to see me analyze more characters from HSR, please subscribe to the channel so we can hit our goal of 2,000 subscribers this year. Subscribing is totally free, you can unsub at any time, and it will make me smile. Also, like this video to let me know if I did a good job. As a smaller content creator on the platform, and get you in my videos really, truly helps me out. Thank you once again for watching, have a great rest of your day, and until we meet again, take care.